hello. Good morning, everyone. Today we have an amazing guest, Dr. Prasanna Rashmi, with us, who has worked as a very senior leader in multinational companies. And the reason why we have her here today is mainly because she is a data scientist and she is an expert on the monster topic which we keep hearing these days, which is artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, and the Chat GPT. So she is the one who is working on all those technologies. And today I'm telling you, you're going to learn a lot about what is this all about, what are the pros and cons. So please see the episode till the end and learn and get maximum out of it. So thank you so much, Dr. Rashmi, to join us. And since there is a lot of buzz about AI and data science and Chat GPT, I thought this is the best time to talk to you. And thanks that you gave this time to come to the show and share your knowledge. So can you tell a little bit about you and how are you feeling being here today?
Thank you so much, Indu. This is a great privilege for me to be hosted by you. I take inspiration from you. Like your story, life story is so amazing where you have overcome all challenges and reached such great heights as in your profession as well as personal life. I really take inspiration that girls means they should be like whatever challenges you have, you must have the right spirit, and be in the right place. I think you're going to be an amazing mentor or coach or whatever that you're going to do in future, but you're going to be a great one. I've seen you doing the voluntary activities with that old age home where you were like personally holding each of those old people as if you were their child or a grandchild, and those people also were so happy that okay, someone is giving me personal attention after such a long time, so that really is great. And I really also liked your book, Nowhere to Grow But Up. It's an amazing book which tells us about your experience, and each of the chapters they have certain exercises which make us want, or make us have some thought provoking actions that can change our mentality towards success. So it's a real pleasure to have read the book and pleasure to have known you.
Oh,
It's an
thank you
honor.
so much. Thank you so much. This was so humble enough for you to talk so much. And thank you for picking the book and giving such great review. So we really want to know about you.
Okay, so I am Rashmi. I have done my PhD in agricultural economics
Mhm.
in 2005. So So basically, so that means my degree and master's degree was also in agriculture, but in the marketing space. And for my PhD, I've done agricultural economics. And so about me, you can say for my education, I got merit fellowships all through, and as well as for my pre-PhD, for my PhD, I received two international pre-PhD fellowships to look into or improve my research on traditional knowledge and intellectual property rights. And with these fellowships, I could visit UC Davis in California, and that is University of California, Davis, and also multiple universities in Australia, including a law firm. And so I was quite young at that time, and we had policy makers there, and he was a lawyer basically. And then we were discussing about the applicability of intellectual property rights to traditional knowledge. And I had just 1 year of experience in going to the forest and talking to the owners of this traditional knowledge, that is the tribal communities. And through that 1 year of experience, I came to know that really applying IP laws to them, to benefit them, to have benefit sharing is difficult. And actually that lawyer was like okay, you come to this conclusion, which is great, which I have done after 25 years. So that was one of the like highlights of my visit. So yeah, so it was good. It helped me improve my research, and I think my external who has to evaluate this, he said, "Oh, you must make a book out of it." And it's 20 years and I haven't made written a book, but yes, I'm going to write on it. Even now that research has not been covered in depth as much as I have done, so I'm really proud of that. I will write a book soon.
Oh,
So
great. So you told you have done your PhD in agriculture and traditional knowledge, right? And now
yeah.
you're working as a data analytics in all this fancy and upcoming technology, which we keep hearing like AI, Chat GPT. How did that transition happen?
So actually, when we go back to the history of statistics, right? Uh, Statistics started with agriculture
Mm-hmm.
many years ago. Like, they found out like the distance, what is an optimal distance between the plants. Okay, like I'm just talking in layman terms. So between the plants, what should be the distance? If you put 10 grams of fertilizer, what would be the increase in yield? And if you
Okay.
put this much of pesticide, what will be the reduction in the pest and increase in yield? So basically, statistics finds its roots in agriculture. This is
Okay.
done many, many, many centuries ago. So statistics and agriculture go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the best statistics, application statistics
Mm-hmm.
can be found from agriculture university itself. And so that's where, and we are given hands on. We have to do a manual, everything, but with, using pen and paper, not any software. So because of that, the depth of our knowledge is very high. Because once you do it with pen and paper, that impacts
Stays in your.
your, it, or it gets into your mind. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is. And I started my analytics career, or rather learning analytics, before Microsoft Excel. Okay. So Microsoft Excel came around the end of 96 or 97 into commercially. So before that, I started. We had some certain software where there was only one manual for the whole university, and each one would take that manual, and then we had to wait in queue to see how to use that software. But I successfully used that software and did my master's degree thesis.
Okay.
After that, I did my master's degree, Excel came into the picture. And
Uh,
then it was like, I use that opportunity since we are, agriculture university is funded for all these things. So I use that opportunity to learn Excel and get into this field. But since we are in agriculture economics, we also have econometrics, which statistics and econometrics, which forms the base for all analytics. So that is the advantage for me that I had.
Okay, so you're saying it is basically the data, meaning the distance between the two plants, the amount of fertilizer that you give, that again is the data that you used to see how that research can be used to increase the cultivation or agriculture, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you moved into this fascination of data scientist and
Yes.
now working in all these technologies.
Yes. Yes. That's a base. So I give that example in general where how statistics and agriculture are correlated.
Mhm.
So for me, more it was also like it was a simple PhD master's degree thesis,
Mhm.
and but we had to use all these by hand, or you had to know the reason for why you're using certain techniques and all those, because of those thought provoking things that were there at that time. Like it was just a natural flow for me into this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, got it. So, yeah, now coming to that burning question, now since you're working in all this technology, can you explain what is AI?
Okay, so AI, I'll tell you, like, because this is like a very many people who stay outside this space think that AI is like, or something which we cannot learn, which is very difficult. Basically, AI is making the missions have the capacity as a human being. So it has eyes which can collect data. The machines are able to collect data, so they function as our eyes. It can hear. So we have Alexa, Siri, and all that. So it's hearing what we are saying and reacting to it based on certain things that are already fed into them, or it's learning that's gone into these things, algorithms. Then touch. You have robots which can move around, pick up things, stack them up, all those things. So they function as our hands. Then they also function as our brain in terms of whatever you feed into them, the data, it learns from it and produces certain results which are beneficial to us. And they have done it with great accuracy. So another thing is like we have reinforcement learning. You must have seen the games, right? You win chess games. For simplest example is a chess game where the machine is winning against human beings. So that also. So how they have been trained is through reward and punishment system. Same like when we were small, we were rewarded or punished according to our activities, right? So missions also are given rewards and penalties based on their performance. Using this, they have their own, knowledge. We can say knowledge. So that is the simplest way to think of AI.
You told giving punishments and rewards to a machine. How does that work?
So basically, okay, now you have failed. Find better ways of winning the game. Okay, so basically, it's you write something code that says, okay, if this happens, then this, and if there is a failure, go back and do it again. So that way the machine learns.
Okay. And what is Chat GPT?
Okay, Chat GPT is also one of the NLP techniques. So just now I told you it's hearing. Now here in this
What is NLP technique? You told NLP.
NLP, it's
That.
natural language processing.
Mm-hmm.
So it processes just as we talk. You must have seen in your Gmail when you type hi, then it reads the name of person whom you have written in the address. So if I say hi, I'm writing to you, it will put hi Indu. You must have noticed it.
Yes, yes.
And then please find, then it says attach the file. Okay. So that is the kind of learning that has happened in terms of language. So it's learned how to, what is the sequence that's going to come after this. So that is what is like, in NLP process. So we can find out, or the machines is able to complete what you are trying to say.
And this is based, like, how do they get trained?
They get trained based on all the things that we add into it, the grammar that is given to it, and we make it the machines read several tons of things for it to get trained. So it reads first and then understands what is a natural sequence that is going to come, and then it learns, okay, if this word is there, can I have a photo, something, can I have something, can I have this. So all these auto suggestions come.
Okay.
Because it is learned, it is trained through millions and millions of lines. So certain book, you can nowadays you find book, the AI which can summarize a video also. It can summarize a book for you. It can transcribe any call. So this call is happening, it can transcribe and give the summary essence of our video in the shortest possible time, maybe in 5 minutes, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So this is the way AI has grown so much. And all this happened through the process of learning. It's called ML. The machines learn.
Okay. So if I say that based on those all the historical data, maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years data has been continuously fed to the machine. And now since, let's say, for example, I have 20 years ka data, So machine now has understood the pattern. So it's kind of a
Yes.
pattern recognition
Yeah. But yeah.
using the concept that you told, NLP, where now because of this 20 years ka data dump, the machine has learned enough so that they know the way he has to respond, or it has to
Correct.
respond.
It has to respond.
And then based on, let's say, whenever I, like, if you ask
Start doing
by
so.
my knowledge of chat gpt is, if instead of going to Google, because earlier I used to go to Google and say, okay, tell me which is the best restaurant in Bangalore, something like that. Now instead of that, I can go to the OpenAI, which is chat gpt, and now when I used to do that in Google, it gives me 10 different links. Now
Correct.
because the machine has learned through chat gpt, it gives me what I want based on my historical.
Exactly. So it summarizes all what it has learned and gives it to you in like, if you can limit it, say you want to just one sentence, you can say give it to me in one sentence. It condenses it and gives it to you in one sentence. You
Oh,
say I want to write a book, it will write a book for you. Like, tell me,
but
okay, write a book,
the
give me the
GPT, the
top.
chat GPT will write a book.
Yes, yes. Yes, you
Oh,
can write books, like in maybe focused 30 minutes you can complete a book.
oh wow. And
Yeah.
how is the data? Is it again based on the historical data
Yes, yes.
available?
It is. And it can create stories also for you, imaginative stories, not just technical stuff. If you tell, okay, ChatGPT, give me a storybook with this moral. I want to explain this moral to someone. So
Mhm.
it will get you that information.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, so what is the future of this?
The thing is, it's got a great future. It can help many people, like, say housewives, or if say anyone who's working professionally also, they can make use of it. And they can make use of it in mostly in personal space rather than thing, because companies, particularly large companies, have this thing of they have say, a high level of security and all this. You cannot disclose anyone's names, you cannot disclose or share with it your data that is there in the company.
Mhm.
Generic things can be done through ChatGPT, but specific things for the company you cannot do it. So where I find is that, see, you're stuck somewhere. Uh, SQL, you don't know what code to write in this particular situation. Just go to ChatGPT and say, "This is the problem I have, and you please give me a code." ChatGPT will give you the code,
It
and then
writes code as well.
it does super job of writing codes. Then you take it and put it into your context. But companies generally will not allow you to use ChatGPT on their systems because of security reasons.
Mhm.
But as individuals, we can use it, and it's really helpful. So it writes codes. You want to learn Python, you tell ChatGPT, I want to learn Python. Start from lesson one. It's going to give you everything that is needed. It will write the code, explain it to you, why this bracket is there, why round bracket is there, why flower brackets are there. Everything. You tell it, I don't know anything, please explain to me, it is going to give it to you. So
Mhm.
it is very helpful in that way. On the flip side, what is it is sometimes, people uh, feed it, wrong data, right? So now I'm mischievous and I'll say, chat gpt, what your understanding is wrong. Please write it in some way. Then what happens is, once it thinks that this is the answer that should be given, sometimes it may give you the wrong answer. But so next comes a question, will ChatGPT and all this AI replace people? Okay, so it is now in the starting stage. People are thinking, okay, we can replace these call center agents, we can replace some of the coders, etc. But the thing is, there should be someone who verifies what the ChatGPT told is true or false.
Mhm.
So there must be some human being yet to make sure that it gives the correct things. So that is where we can see. And ChatGPT replacing call center agents, again, in banks and insurance. So you have very sensitive data, right? I
Mhm.
can have access to anyone's bank account,
Mhm.
um, say Mr. Bachchan's bank account, how much he's having, what is his loans. And
Mhm.
can you imagine that sharing that to a third party
Mhm.
platform? So the potential for misuse is also there. So I don't see it replacing this kind of sensitive uh, areas, being people being replaced in these sensitive areas. So that is like about the chat gpt. You have to use it very carefully,
Mhm.
but it helps in productivity like hell, because you ask it write a book. Imagine, like, we are writing books. You must have spent 1 year in writing, getting it copy edited. Okay, but now you can write a book in half an hour, and you can try it. Okay, but you you must always be there to check whether whatever it's written is true or false.
But
So
will it be, because when you say write a book, will it be not like something that came from Chat GPT? It is not my thoughts. So I think that originality somewhere will be missing, right?
yeah, so here what you can do is, you take the see what happens is when we are writing a book, we are stuck for words. Sometimes you want to say uh, some big thing, you want to say some big explanation you want to give. When you'll be writing, you don't get the words, then you think in our regional language, and then you're not getting the full sentence. So you tell ChatGPT, see, this is what I want to explain. So you see that it gives you the best words, and you feel, oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted to write. And so that way you can help yourself, and then you bring your own context to it. So you would say, for example, how to help yourself. You have given the exercises. So that comes from you. So you give that exercise, but get the words from the chat
So it
GPT
is
so
like,
that you,
it is just, you can use it, you can leverage that tool.
yes, yeah, you have to
The
leverage it.
originality still remains there.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Same way for PPT also. You can ask it, I want a PPT on this topic. So it's going to give it to you. Change it according to your
When
context
you
and
say
present.
PPT in this topic, as in it gives in PPT format or it gives in a like a word?
Uh, your there are capabilities to get a slide out of it.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And that is from that OpenAI that we have?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so can you explain, like, when we say, okay, you can use ChatGPT to do this, that as a layman who doesn't know anything, how to start using ChatGPT in our normal life?
So basically, you go to that website and log in, create an account, log in, and then you're free to start using it. And then what you have to learn is how to give those things are called prompts.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we used to go and have the keywords in Google. So here we have to use prompts. They are called prompts.
Mm-hmm.
So that is also nowadays a lot of coaching is going on how to create these prompts. Okay, so that's happening there. Coach, there are many people are giving coaching on creating prompts. So
Prompt meaning asking the right question.
PROMPT, yeah, prompts.
So is it that asking right question?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
How to prompt it to give you the right answer. So
Okay.
and start. So basically, for me, it was very intuitive, nothing challenging. I think for anyone, even a housewife can. I'm sorry to say that, but anyone, like not in the professional space, also can start using it. It's nothing to get scared of. It's just like talking to your neighbor or your friend. So just ask it any question, and then it gives you the answer.
And
And
it
if you
is
find
free.
it's not good, you
And it
can
is
just say, "Oh,
uh
ChatGPT, what you told is wrong." Then again, it goes back and corrects itself and gives you the right answer.
and yeah, so the website is openai.com and it is free.
Yeah. You also have the paid version.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Yeah, you
haven't
start with the
used the
free
paid version.
version and
Yeah.
see how your experience go, and then you can leverage that tool rather, where your originality still remains. So,
And nowadays, Sorry, nowadays people are using it to write their resumes, to submit their thesis, and like there are many hilarious things that's happening on the net. So you can read about it and enjoy and not get worried. Oh, what this chat GPT is. It's passing exams also, right? So law exam also it has passed.
It is passing exams, as in what is this?
Yeah, it passed the exams like I forgot the university's name, Harvard or some law in college in US. It has passed the exam.
Meaning the Chat GPT gave the
Yeah.
same answers
Yes. Yes.
of the exams? Okay. Hmm.
So it was able to clear the exams. So
Okay.
it's really intelligent. We need to make use of it. We need to see if you want to write something. Earlier, you used to think, oh my God, LinkedIn posts is so difficult. Nowadays, you can finish it in, say, 30 seconds.
Oh my God. Oh, so these
Yeah,
are.
30 seconds is all you need to complete a LinkedIn post. Of course, and then 1 minute or 2 minutes in correcting and adding your own thoughts to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a big advantage for you. So nowadays, you see there are a lot of creators in even on LinkedIn, on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
copy edits, advertisements. You can ask it, okay, ChatGPT, give me an advertisement, give me a plan, sales plan. It's going to give you everything. You just have to leverage it
Wow.
without hesitation. There's nothing nowadays like earlier we had to hire people, okay, someone to do the creative, someone to write that stuff for us, right, to give us the punch,
Mm-hmm.
tagline, everything. Nowadays you just ask it and you'll get it.
Wow.
So this is a space where everyone can make use of it and come up with their own things. Now this is like a, a knowledge and a creator economy now. So you can see how the Instagrams and Facebook and everything is paying you money, right, based on your influence. So YouTube, it can create, um, it can give you the content for a YouTube. You can say, ChatGPT, give me, mm, the an idea to teach Excel. So it will give you the script. It will give you the mm, thing what you should do for what you it will give you even the sample, put in A1 this one, put in A2 this, and all these are the things that has to be done. So it helps you even to that extent. So even creating YouTube videos is not a great thing, like challenge these days.
So it
So
is kind of a self, like it is a self tutor for you, which can
yes,
be
yes,
leveraged
yeah,
for anything
yeah,
and everything, any
yes,
area, any space. Wow.
yes.
That
So
that
really it's
my
good.
my
It's
next
good
question
time
was,
to be.
Rashmi, there is also something called IoT, Internet of Thing, and then we have this artificial intelligence, which is again Chat GPT, and you told machine learning is something which is used. So what is the difference? What is IoT and how is it different from AI and ML?
IoT is Internet of Things where you have sensors to capture all the data that is generated. Say your machine is there, it's running, and how many defects are happening on that. Say you're making manufacturing biscuits, so it senses how many biscuits were not manufactured correctly. Or say you go to a bank and how many times you swipe that. So these are all sensors.
Mm-hmm.
So which collects front end, it collects the information and
Okay.
it can be fed to the AI to understand, okay, this conveyor has this kind of a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and or this machine will fail at this point of time. So based on this sensor information from the sensor, then the AI works and tells or gives you the information or insights that certain things are going to happen, or you know and then you can make use of it.
Okay. It is again a different, it's a different flavor where again it uses
Yeah.
data and where
Yes.
you make the machine intelligent. It's like
Yes.
mainly that is the
Yeah.
Internet of Things. Okay, wow, great. There is so many, so much
Yes.
knowledge
Yes.
you have on this
Yes.
area.
So
So,
even, yeah, even your self-driving cars, right? How
okay.
successfully it is going. It's detecting the things in front of you, objects, and then maneuvering. Yeah, and the rate of accidents is like we get hyped about that, but how many human errors are there? How many accidents due to humans is there? So
Okay.
that undue burden is there on that. self-driving cars, but it's good that everything is there. Like we are in the right time for us to enjoy and experience all this. So one need not be worried. Oh, AI, and it's bad. Okay, so many things bad came up. Drugs came up, right? So
Okay.
we did not bother so much, but such a hype about the AI is going to destroy everything.
So it means that we should not. So the hype is mainly related that people will lose their jobs. So there's nothing like that. It is something new. We should be open to learn and leverage to take advantage maximum from it, right?
Yes. No, we cannot say that it's not going to be bad. It may be bad, but then everything comes with the bad. So
There's a pro and con for
yeah,
everything.
everything that has come up. So you see, even AI, it
Mhm.
helps in detecting eye diseases, cancer, which normally we cannot see in a scan with our eyes.
Mhm.
Earlier doctors used to depend on the scan. Nowadays, these AI is able to tell you, like, okay, this cell is different from the rest, and
Mhm.
then it is for the doctor to make a decision, informed decision, whether it should be an area of concern or not. So
Maybe
it
the
is
level
helpful.
of accuracy is used because AI
Yes,
is also used for those medical purposes.
yes,
That
yes, yes.
accuracy has increased. Okay, wow, that's
So
great.
always there has to be a doctor. You can't say that AI will treat you, but it is able to pinpoint
Mm-hmm.
those cells which are different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for the doctor to take a call whether you need to remove it or treat it with some chemo or whatever.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah,
also, I think I was reading somewhere, especially on this medical area, this artificial intelligence can be used or leveraged in places like remote places in India and different parts of the world where doctors don't reach. So, at
correct.
the initial level of pathology work can be done using the AI assistants.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So last thing that I want to know that I know you mentioned about your book and I know you're working on your book. So can you tell a little bit about the research work that and all the hard work that has gone into that book and why someone pick your book and read?
Okay, so my book is a very basic book. Because nowadays, because of all the teaching, centers or organizations, people are directly jumping into AI, coding, and, directly. My book addresses the most fundamental things like, it's called Ignite Your Data Analytics Skills, must have for all beginners. So it comes from what is a variable, what is data, and how to recognize them, and in the simplest language. It is like a really must have uh, book for anyone who is trying to get into data analytics. So
Mm-hmm.
only when your foundation is strong, then you are unshakable. So like I told you, we had very basics from our degree level to know. So that's why, like, nothing really phases me in terms of what's happening, because the fundamentals is strong. And I want to share, basically this was my teacher's manual. I asked him permission and all that, and then I told sir I will convert it into a book. And he said, go ahead, otherwise it's going to be lost. And that's how I did. So what I learned, I want the world to know. And because it really lays a very strong foundation uh, to your data analytics skills. It's like a must read. Actually, I gave it to my copy editor and I asked her, "You give me your opinion about it," because she's not a statistics person at all. And then she said, "Rashmi, I'm not keeping your book down. I'm reading it because it's so interesting, and this, like, it's in the midnight." Okay, she said, and early morning also. After she woke up, she started correcting my book.
Okay.
So to that extent, I think I was so happy to hear that feedback from her. This is the first one that I got. And she said it's a very novel approach. You have used stories which I can relate to. And therefore, like, it's really unputdownable book. And I'm really happy because I think that everyone who is interested in data science should buy this book, not because I wrote it, because it's going to lay a strong foundation and it will help you.
Wow, great. So when is your book coming then?
I should get it published by August 15th, Independence Day, hopefully, or
Okay.
just the week after that. So I will be.
Okay. So do let us
Yeah.
know. We all will be love to pick your book and know, because this is a burning topic also these days.
Yes. This is, I'm not reached. I'm planning to create a series of books. First one is just the basic for those who are so scared of data. When we say data analytics, people are scared because even on Instagram, people connect to me just by reading like my content. They connect to me, how, ma'am, how to learn and all that. So I give them advice. So that's when I also conduct interviews, right? So many people don't have these basics.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that there must be a book that just talks in simple English, no big formulas. People get scared. I'm sure you also must have learned in your school how to do the mean, and they give big procedures,
Mm-hmm.
effects and all that, and people get scared. So we don't have to go into that. You only need to know the concept, and then now you have tools to do it for you. But if you don't know the concept, there is no use of that Excel or any other tool that is there, because it's gigo, right? Garbage in, garbage out.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone tells you do this, then you'll do it manually because you don't have your own idea what should be done. This book will help you think what I should do in particular situation. So
Wow,
that is where that book is. So the series of books, like the first one is just the basics, then is the probability, and then is the slightly advanced version. And later on, maybe if I have time, I'll get into ML and AI stuff. But so,
great, great. All the best, Rashmi. And I know we are almost at the end of the
yeah.
podcast. So thank you again. Thanks for your time and thanks for sharing so much of knowledge about AI. So one takeaway for me is it's not that big monster that we should think it is. It is something everyone can use and leverage to make an ease or bring an ease to their day-to-day work, right?
Yes, yeah, productivity. It increases the productivity, and I encourage all the people. There are so many institutes that offer free courses. If you, there are people who charge very high amounts. You have people who are offering free. Make use of the free resources and get into the
Great.
show. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Rashmi.
you.
It was great
Thank,
talking to you.
thank you, Indu, for hosting me.